What is this you're holding?
Cheapo smell.
You picked it. Did you pick it? Did you pick it? We picked money. Did you pick it?
Do you remember yesterday my hand was itching? Here's the money. We told you guys we'll let you know.
Yeah, we are going to let you guys know on how we pick this money.
Yes.
Let's see it clearly one more time. That is a Kenyan money.
Kenyan note.
Third part, no.
That part, we thought our cops ahead, man.
The video.
And Mazi have fucked up my DL, seen a DL, so we normally.
DL yesterday.
Yeah, imagine that's how tough today is for you guys. Faster in this our generation than previously. Actually, their maturity level is going down with the years. Like the younger they are now, the mature they are becoming.
No, women, I believe they are. Okay, how is that? Women are built on we might get the same age, but a woman will have more than a man. Assalamualaikum again.
Yeah, Saseni Mazi. It's so cold, guys. Come on. We are still waiting for you guys to buy us a cup of coffee. Yeah, and we're getting wet, but it's okay. We're waiting for the rain to go down, then we'll be able to leave this place.
They've just given us a shelter that
Yeah.
you guys don't be cold. At
Yeah,
least we warm.
at least this place they know us, so
They're very welcoming here. This is just our things, our goodies. This is us, Mr. and Mrs. Kivuva.
yeah.
If you've forgotten us because you've not watched us in a few days, we're
Remember
still
us.
alive and kicking.
We are the Kihuas here.
Yeah, we're the Kihua family.
But we are not the Kihua families, we are the
The
Kihuas.
Kihuas themselves.
Not the Kihua
not the
family, no,
not
no.
the Pakistani family.
No.
We're the name itself.
Yeah, we want, there's so many
We've never loved that anyway to use family.
YouTube, so many people are using that family. Well, actually, like that.
Yeah, nani wakisha ditazi watabu. Atakisha inside.
When you go up or down, imagine
Yeah.
I didn't say in person.
We just passed yesterday. You guys is young here. We just entered like this na metoka tena.
Yeah, it's too much. Too much.
Okay. Let's see what's in Ian's pocket for us.
Nothing.
There is something nice. Do you want to see family? Ian is making me rich.
Let me show you. Abu, come show them in the camera clear while I look from the other side. The way it's done.
Okay.
Explain to them. Come close.
This is a note, a 50 shilling note of Kenya. You look, it's stone. And you know, this sort of money, imagine the funny thing.
Still, yeah.
Imagine they're giving us this money, but they don't accept it themselves. Not here, not this place, but the shops, normal shops in Kenya. They don't accept a torn note, but they'll give you one very willingly.
Yeah, look at that. It's so torn.
I will do it again.
No, it's good in a show. It's good everything. You only like that on the camera they see. So it's written there, here, where? Kwani how far is it?
It's here.
Oh, it's written there, Kenya, Banki Kuu ya Central Kenya. Yeah. And look how torn it is. I don't know why it's torn like that. I don't know why it could be that torn.
Gold. Obviously, it was given to us like this.
AANIQA,
Rastaman.
what's up? What's good?
I'm getting a bit frostbite. Is it called frostbite?
It's biting you, the frost.
The frost is biting me. Hello?
Oh, yes.
You picked money and we're dropping it for someone
Hey,
else.
Abu, return it. This is my money. We didn't pick it, guys.
I just picked
This
it
is
up.
literally how much we have.
I got
Man.
out of Ian's pocket.
So, how much is this worth for them in like their currencies, different currencies? And what can this buy in Kenya? Nothing.
Energy drink, bravado.
Even energy, it can't.
It's 60 bob.
It's 60 bob energy drink. This maybe.
It can buy you maize. One maize.
Yeah, maybe maize. Yeah, but
Mengi choma ya.
yeah. So this is a 50 Kenyan shillings. AANIQA will explain to them first before we put it back in.
Okay, 50 Kenyan shillings is in dollars. It would be 50.
30 cents.
30 cents, yeah, around 30 cents. In pounds, it would be 20
20
pennies.
cents. 20 pennies.
20 pennies, pence. In Kenyan shillings, it's 50 Kenyan shillings.
In a country called Tanzania and Uganda, this is
Thousands.
5,000.
Yeah.
5. or 10. This can be even
Yeah, it
10,000.
can be 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000 Ugandan shillings and 10,000 Tanzanian shillings. Actually, between the East African countries here in Kenya, in Africa, most of the East African countries, Uganda, Kenya, TZ, we use what is called as shillings. We refer to our money as shillings.
So you
Shillings,
say KSH is Kenyan shillings, TSH is Tanzanian shillings, and
UG,
is Ugandan shillings.
shillings, yeah. So in Kenya is the most, how will you say, modernized. We are way ahead of the rest of the countries.
You see, this small note of 50 shillings is so expensive in tea.
Yeah.
But the funny thing, it won't buy you anything even in Tanzania or Uganda.
It's
It'll
the
just
same.
buy you basically the same things. Let's
Imagine
say that
the currency is the same. It will buy you the same. Even here it's 50 bob. When you go to eat, if it buys you one sweet here, it will buy you one sweet in TZ.
it's the same. We have basically the same sort of prices, but their currency is a bit low.
Yeah. So there's a topic yesterday we had posted. Yeah. So yesterday we had talked about something called mental health. I think we'll go on today. So mental health, guys. Sorry guys. You guys understand, eh?
Yeah, we do understand. Is it recording?
Let me check. Yeah, it's recording. Guys, just let us know if it's still recording, eh? Let us know in the comment section.
Well, this is definitely not getting your head.
So mental health.
Yeah. What is
We've-
mental health?
First
What
of
is
all,
mental health?
Yeah, mental health is
Let's move the activity. Yeah.
mental health is the status of your mind. Doesn't have to be a good health or a bad health, but the status of your mind. The reason we're talking about mental health is we want to become one of the pioneers. We are one of the pioneers in Kenya that have truly gotten to understand our mental health and how it's affected our journey. And one of the biggest things about mental health is you need to speak it out. You need to speak out about your mental health. So today in this video we are going to talk about a few of the mental challenges we might have had to get our mental state right.
We'll start.
You
For me, I
can
would
start, you
say,
can start. Just a brief one. Just make it brief so that you, our viewer, can also get the time to let out your mental. What we're trying to say is mental health, the only way to get around it or get by it or survive it is communication. So one of the biggest ways that AANIQA and I had to handle my what is it called, my mental health pressure and problem and all my mental health, the only reason I handle it is because of AANIQA. I got to talk to AANIQA.
Yeah, and same for me. The biggest thing, the time that I actually realized there's something like mental health was when I started talking to Ian about the problems I had. So one thing for me, how I would define mental health is wellness, right? That is why you can say healthy and unhealthy. So mental health would be directly mental wellness. Is your mental wellness good or is your mental wellness bad?
Yeah. And most of us, it's actually quite bad. We'll now let them know a few of the problems that you have. Then I'll let them know what are causing all these mental problems that you're calling mental problems. They actually a few things.
Why don't you just explain that out? Like everyone would have different mental stresses. Like communication is a mental trouble too. Yeah.
And all these mental problems, they start with one thing. They start with how can you be able to be comfortable in yourself. That's where the mental problem starts. When you're mentally healthy, it's because you are comfortable being with yourself. You're comfortable being with yourself. You can take away every other thing and you'll still be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, that is definitely the biggest health that is what you call healthy. What you call mentally healthy is when you can survive with you and yourself in any situation.
Yeah. You'll move it for us then here again.
Yeah.
While I go and explain it.
Yeah,
so
explain
one of the other things that I had the biggest was to deal with social media. So social media has been, I think it's part of our generation, and it's one of the biggest something that degenerates your mental growth.
Yeah.
Social media.
Social media is like it adds on to your problems. When especially you already have a weak mental health, social media will, if your mind is already so messed up and weakened, social media will just add on to the nonsense that's going on.
Let me tell you, what one thing about social media is, whatever you're participating right now, trust me, even once you stop it, you cut the social media out of it, you still have to have the strength to cut out what the effect of that social media left. There is a bigger, you know, when you talk about social media, you think, oh, so it's the phone, so it's the what I was watching, so it's the what. No, it's not all that. When you're telling you to leave social media, is you need to cut. And we are still using our phone, we are still on social media, but we cut. There is a side of social media that I had indulged in for a very long time, and even not having a phone for 3-4 years or social media,
Didn't matter.
it was still there.
Yeah.
You know, you might be so far in your life and you're still there. You might be so far in your life and you're still there. So cut off social media, and once you cut off that social media, don't cut off the phone. Don't cut off the phone out of you. Make sure you incorporate how you will manage to get that nonsense out of your head and still be able to function. Because because the biggest problem that you have right now is you cannot function with this mental health problem. You cannot function. You know, when you try to function, it's there. When you try to do ABC, it's there, just reminding you. So you will not get out of that. You will not take that bad feeling and put it aside, like the way I take this and put it aside. No, if this is the bad thing, I have to incorporate it. Let it be my third eye then. Let me be able to know now this is one of those moments I'm going to fall back again.
So all that means is acknowledge what things weaken you in your life on social media. You know, the funny thing is these things that weaken you, for people it comes differently. Like how Ian is saying it was social media. For someone like me, I had to learn the discipline of food. It was so funny that I had to learn the discipline of not wasting food, of the value of food actually, that it's not just something that you eat, it's actually a bigger thing, you know. It's not something like it needs to be so important that you just, it's something that goes into you as food. So that sort of discipline, it can be anything for you. So till you do not point it out that this is what weakens me, you will never be able to get your mental health. One thing that mental health really is necessary in mental health is acknowledging anything and everything that happens in your life. You see, acknowledge whatever it is, even if it's however heavy it is, yeah, just acknowledge. That is one big solution to fixing your mental health.
Yeah, most of us don't acknowledge.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
don't. You actually acknowledge you've done something bad, but you don't want to allow yourself to feel that badness and let it get out. You know, like you've done something bad. You know, you might have slipped and fell. Accept the pain. You know, when I fall down and I get up and pretend I'm good and my leg is broken, I'll still be walking with that leg broken, and you will see it, but in my mind I'm trying to lie to myself, oh, I'm good.
And since you will see it and the person is not acknowledging, you'll be like, okay, you go sort your life out.
Yeah, and you know, most of the time the acknowledgement, if I fall down and they acknowledge, oh, you guys are laughing, I've fallen down, it will change everything.
Yeah.
But when I get out of that acknowledgement and I don't acknowledge, they will still be laughing. They will have seen what has happened, you know. But now you who remains there, you remain with your mental problems.
Yes. Yes. And that is the funny thing, that you know it always comes back to you. Whatever happens through you will come back to you. It will be something inside you regardless of what. So you admit it and try to do things in a way that you don't have to feel so stressed. You know, don't have weight that remains behind you. Just be free. Being free means whatever it is in that particular time, just clear it there and there out, yeah? And that means even if you've hurt someone, right?
Yeah.
Just acknowledge, yes, this is how it happened, yeah?
So apart from that, there are different sorts of mental problems that we are facing as youth. I'll give a few of the mental problems that I'm still facing and how I'm managing to tackle them, and how to help you with my perspective for you to be able to tackle some of those problems if you have.
Yes, family.
So as a man, one of the biggest problems you have is to control your energy. You must control your energy. As a man, you must. Controlling what energy am I talking about? I'm talking about your semen energy. All your energy as a man your manhood energy is in your semen. That's how, when you see I don't want to use these terms, but when you see a man and you see that's a man, probably has high energy and not testosterone. There's a big difference between there's a big difference between the testosterone production and the sperms production. So I'm not talking about your sperms production, I'm talking about the testosterone production. You understand it?
The hormone itself.
The hormone itself. one other thing as a man to control my dopamine levels. Dopamine is the chemical that allows you to feel a certain way. When you're eating, you're feeling happy. When you're indulging in sexual behaviors, you're feeling satisfied. One of the biggest things is to know what dopamine is and control dopamine.
Yes.
And the last one is you must open your eyes. You must be able to see who's around you.
Yes.
We were saying, guys, mental health, the only way you can get around it is by speaking out.
By getting inside it. So
Yeah.
deal with it. Deal with everything that comes with mental health. And yes, it's never going to be easy. We'll never lie to you that it's easy.
Oh yeah, it's
heavy,
hard. Yeah, it's
mental
hard.
health. So it takes courage. You just go do it. Just so long as you, one person knows that you're doing right, trust me, everything else will just fall in place. So you put in the effort.
One of the biggest issues that I had with my mental problems. Okay, my biggest mental problem, it was sexuality, pornography, and all those sorts of material. I bet you understand, but that's what it was for me. And it took a very long time for me to break out of that. I had probably ejaculated my entire future away, and it's taken me a very long time to get that future back. So it's always, I started this journey when I was in my early 20s to start reducing to actually be awake. It's that, to be awake, not walk, to be awake. See, are you seeing?
Be alive.
To be alive, yeah. So enjoy life as it is, and life is definitely a bad place. Yeah, just the entire
It's
general
not a
world.
bad place.
It's a bad place. You have to make it good.
No, it's balanced. It's balanced. Life has good and bad, just like everything else. If
Good
you'll
is bad is easy.
If you choose to focus on the bad, then well, your life will be bad. If you choose to focus on the good, well, with every difficulty, life will still be doable. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know if any of you guys have had any big mental problems that you'd like to share with us. If this is a sort of a conversation you'd love to hear more, we'd
Yes,
love
let
to be
us know,
talking to you
family.
about. Yeah.
I hope you got a few tips and tricks here next shared for you, our fellow young men. For the young women, I will just tell you the strength of a woman is here. So let no one tell you otherwise. Be strong here. Think with here. Do everything with here. Don't use any other part. So long as your mind is strong, then
What other
it's going
part?
to be hard.
What other part do they use to think?
Anything.
Men use, if a man is not using his head to think, Bishwa is using his how will I put it, his banana to think.
Yeah. So
He's
anyway-
using his banana to think.
Yeah, anyway, but for what I was trying to tell you, my fellow women, is be strong. You know, for women, it's not the same issue.
That's what I was asking. Like, what is
Yeah.
it for women that
Anything. She might use
if you're
money
not
to
thinking
think.
your
she
mind,
might-
you're using money. Makes sense. If you're not using your mind to think, what is a woman using to think? Because I've told you, if you see a man outside and he's not thinking, just know he's thinking with his banana.
Yeah, but that's what comes to that. Every person is different. Everyone's struggle is different. Identify what the struggle is for you. You know, as much as even men you might find a man that is young and it's okay for him. He has a different struggle. So don't just go with someone else's struggle. Be willing to see where is your struggle. That is one thing I had to learn. Because like how Ian was convinced about this struggle, Ian was convinced it's like that for everyone, right? That is a struggle that everyone goes through. I had to learn.
No, I still believe that sexual energy, it's a stage that everyone has to
Yes,
go to.
it is.
And
That's a normal thing, yeah?
And only few men, I'm letting you guys know how hard this is. Only few will ever get to experience that, what I'm talking about. In the entire life, it's very few you'll be able to look at the sun or at the leaves and see what God wanted you to see. And the only way you can do that is retain. Okay, for me, I believe that at always.
No, it is true. It's true energy. Yeah, anyway. I
Yeah.
hope you guys have got a few points. I think there's one will end it up, Senor. I hope you guys got a few points, a few tips and tricks for here.
Yeah.
Mental health is a big conversation. We'll
Can't
still
end
go
here.
on.
Can't end here. So we'll end it here and let you know that mental health, yes, it's a problem. Let's start talking about it. Let's face it. Let's
start talking.
let's start talking. Let us learn through each other's mental health problems. Mine, as I've said, it's this, and I hope it's helped you learn. I hope it's helped you learn that is my struggle. The as AANIQA said, I better not think everyone is going through it.
No.
It's my struggle, you
No,
know.
not like that. I said just this is a universal thing that people go through, right?
Mhm.
Adolescence, things like that, growing into adulthood, that's
Mm.
something that's inevitable for everyone.
Mm.
But that does not end up being a struggle for everyone, like later on in life. Yes, at a point it's a struggle, but some people carry that struggle too far. You understand? Like some people here, they might get another struggle that they will have to carry, they have to acknowledge. Yeah? This is a very central thing, what you're talking about, but you must also identify where else you struggle. Do you struggle in communicating? Do you struggle in letting out? Yeah?
But like the most mental problem, okay, for you, what was your biggest mental problem?
For me, there was just not one. When I started learning my mind, there's a lot I saw. Even if it comes to knowing myself, like this, what I talk about, being a strong woman. I really had to learn that. I had to learn that people. Okay, let me tell you something. From my high school, I had gotten used to people really trying to tell me otherwise to what I would say. You know, they try to tell me, no, you want to do that, but you're not good enough, right? So I had to break out of that. I had to say, I can't think of my own. I have a mind of my own, so I can't think. I can know for my life, right? So this is what was the biggest mental struggle for me, to have faith in my own mind, like to see my own mind is worth it all. Once your mind, you've conquered it, then what else is there that you won't conquer? So for me, my biggest struggle was seeing the strength of my mind.
Perfect. See the strength of your mind, conquer your mind,
Yeah.
and live life to the fullest. Cheers, guys.